My husband thinks I'm too weak from chemo treatments to check Instagram. But I've been documenting every post, every check-in, every champagne toast she's shared from my $5 million Malibu beach house. The real question is, how will they both react when they discover I've been cancer-free for 2 months and the Swiss clinic was actually my lawyer's office in Beverly Hills? My name is Diane Harrison, and I'm about to serve the coldest revenge at exactly 98.6 degrees body temperature. The same warmth my husband felt when he told me I was too sick to handle property matters and needed to sign a power of attorney, just in case. Little did he know, I'd already transferred the beach house deed to an LLC 2 years ago when I first suspected his affairs. But let me start from the beginning, because this story isn't just about catching a cheater. It's about how a terminal diagnosis can reveal exactly who people really are. 3 years ago, I was living what appeared to be a charmed life. At 45, I had everything. A successful interior design business, a gorgeous beach house I'd bought with my own money before marriage, and a husband who still looked like the tennis instructor he'd been when we met 15 years earlier. James Harrison had married up, and we both knew it, but I thought love would be enough to bridge the gap between his modest background and my inherited wealth plus self-made success. I was wrong. The first signs were subtle. Unexplained charges on credit cards. Sudden interest in working late at the sporting goods store he managed. New cologne. The clichés piled up like beach sand and designer shoes, but I ignored them because investigating felt beneath me. I'd built my business on trust and good taste. I didn't want to become the suspicious wife going through pockets. Then, 8 months ago, I found a lump. The diagnosis was aggressive breast cancer, stage IA. Treatable, but serious. I needed chemotherapy, possibly radiation, definitely surgery. The oncologist was optimistic, caught early enough, good prognosis with treatment. But James heard only one thing, cancer. His reaction told me everything. Not fear for my life, but calculations in his eyes. How long? How much? What happens to? The beach house, he said during my second chemo session. We should put it in my name. Just in case. For tax purposes. I was nauseated, bald, and exhausted, but not stupid. It's already in a trust, darling. All handled. He didn't know the trust was revocable and controlled entirely by me through an LLC I'd set up for my business. Real estate was my first career. I knew how to protect assets. That's when Maya entered the picture. Or rather, when I discovered she'd already been in it. Maya Patel, 28, was everything I wasn't anymore. Healthy, vibrant, with the kind of glossy Instagram presence that made wellness influencers weep with envy. She taught hot yoga at the studio where James had started taking classes for his back. Her feed was full of inspirational quotes, green smoothies, and strategic hints about her secret boyfriend, who was going through something difficult. I found out about her the modern way, through a tagged location. James was supposedly at a golf tournament in Phoenix, but Maya's Instagram story showed a distinctly familiar watch on a male wrist reaching for acai bowls at a Malibu cafe. My husband's Rolex, the one I'd bought him for our 10th anniversary. Instead of confronting him, I made a different choice. I hired a private investigator, a forensic accountant, and the best divorce attorney in Los Angeles. Then I told James my oncologist recommended an experimental treatment program in Switzerland. 6 months, I said, watching him try to hide his relief. Maybe longer. The clinic is very exclusive, no visitors allowed. But the success rate is phenomenal. Whatever you need, honey, he said, already calculating how long he'd have to play grieving husband. I'll take care of everything here. I bet he would. I moved into the Four Seasons under an assumed name and started my actual treatment at Cedars-Sinai as an outpatient. My attorney, Sheila Roth, became my new favorite person as we documented everything. The PI was worth his weight in gold. Within 2 weeks, we had photos of Maya moving boxes into my beach house. But the real gift was their social media stupidity. Maya couldn't resist showing off her new lifestyle. Beach yoga at sunrise on my deck. Cooking in my sub-zero kitchen. Posing by my infinity pool with captions about manifesting abundance, and when the universe aligns. James stayed carefully out of the photos, but his presence was everywhere. His car in the background, his hand holding the camera in window reflections, his voice in her videos. My favorite was a house tour she posted on TikTok. Touring my new beach sanctuary, she gushed, showing off rooms I'd personally designed, furniture I'd selected, art I'd collected over 20 years. She even had the audacity to criticize my color choices. We'll be redecorating soon, thinking more zen, less museum. I commented from my business account. Stunning property. Who's your interior designer? She replied. Actually doing it myself. The previous owner had questionable taste, face with tears of joy. That's when I decided to end this charade with style. I waited until they'd been living there for exactly 90 days. Long enough to establish residency, too long to claim they were just visiting. Then I orchestrated the finale. First, I had Sheila file the divorce papers, time to be served at James's work. Simultaneously, I had the property management company I'd hired post eviction notices at the beach house. Then I flew back from my Swiss treatment, looking remarkably healthy for someone supposedly dying. The Instagram posts started that morning. Maya doing sun salutations on my deck. Grateful for another day in paradise. Sunrise #blessed #beach life #living my dream. I commented, enjoying my property? Her response was swift and cruel. LOL, someone's bitter. Sorry about your situation, but this is my house now. Maybe focus on your health instead of stalking my page? Face blowing kiss. That's when the police knocked on the door. I know because she live streamed it, thinking it was a prank. OMG you guys, there are literally police at my door saying I have to leave. James. The officers were professionally neutral as they explained that the legal owner had reported trespassing. Maya's voice got shriller. This is my house. My boyfriend owns it. His wife is dying in Switzerland. Ma'am, according to property records, this house is owned by Celestial Properties LLC, not Mr. Harrison. The owner is present and would like you to vacate immediately. That's when I walked into frame. The live stream caught Maya's face cycling through confusion, recognition, and horror. I looked fantastic, if I do say so myself. Healthy, professionally styled, wearing the kind of understated designer outfit that whispered rather than screamed money. Chemo had ended 2 months ago, and while I'd kept my hair short, it was growing back silver and chic. Hello, Maya. I'm afraid there's been a misunderstanding. This is my house, and you're trespassing. James came running from the bedroom, my bedroom, in boxers and panic. Diane? But, you're supposed to be dying? Sorry to disappoint. The treatment was remarkably successful. Swiss medicine is amazing. I smiled at the officers. These people have been squatting in my property under false pretenses. I'd like them removed. Maya found her voice. You can't do this. James said the house was his. He said you were terminal. He said, I'd be very careful about what you admit on live stream, Sheila advised, stepping into view with her briefcase. Fraud, conspiracy, trespassing, it's all adding up. The best part was Maya's followers watching in real time as their wellness guru was exposed as a homewrecker squatting in a stolen beach house. The comments were brutal. OMG, she's been lying. The wife looks amazing. Karma, instant karma. Wait, so she's not rich? James tried damage control. Diane, honey, this is all a misunderstanding. Maya's just a friend staying here while you were sick. I didn't want to worry you. Stop. I held up my hand. Your friend moved in with 3 suitcases and redecorated my bedroom. Your friend has been posting about her new life for 3 months. Your friend somehow knew I was terminal when I never told you that. I turned to Maya, who was crying perfectly predictable tears. By the way, those questionable taste furnishings you mocked? The couch you're sitting on is worth more than your yoga teacher training. The painting you said looked dated is an original Hockney. But sure, replace them with live laugh love signs. The police gave them an hour to pack essentials. Maya's live stream kept running, documenting her complete meltdown as she shoved athleisure wear into garbage bags. Her follower count dropped by thousands in real time. James made one last plea. Where am I supposed to go? That apartment I had. I gave it up. You thought you'd inherit a beach house and a grieving widow's fortune. Plot twist. The house was never marital property, and thanks to the prenup you signed, neither is anything else I own. I handed him the divorce papers. You'll get exactly what you brought to this marriage, your tennis rackets and your aging charm. Good luck with that. As they loaded their bags into Maya's leased Mercedes, I knew because the PI had everything. She turned back one last time. You're a horrible person. James was just trying to find happiness. With my happiness, I replied. In my house. On my furniture. Posting about it on Instagram for clout. Speaking of which, I pulled out my phone. I'm keeping screenshots of everything. Every post, every story, every lie. Try to spin this, And my attorney will make sure everyone knows exactly what kind of wellness influencer you really are. Her account went private within hours. Last I heard, she was teaching yoga in Riverside and James was living with his mother in Torrance. As for me, I'm cancer-free, divorce finalized, and sitting on my deck watching the sun set over the Pacific. The house feels lighter somehow, like it can breathe again. I redecorated a bit. Not because Maya suggested it, but because surviving cancer made me realize I wanted more color, more life, more joy in my space. I still have the screenshots, though. Sometimes when I'm feeling low, I read the comments from her final live stream. My favorite: "This is better than Netflix." The wife is an icon. But the real satisfaction isn't in the public humiliation or the viral moment. It's in the quiet evening when I pour a glass of wine. My oncologist says one is fine now. Walk out onto my deck, and know that I fought for my life on two fronts and won both battles. The beach house is mine. My life is mine. And somewhere in Torrance, a former tennis instructor is learning that when you try to bury someone who's not actually dying, you might just end up digging your own grave. Maya's Instagram bio now reads, "On a journey of growth and accountability." James doesn't have social media anymore. Me? I just posted a sunset photo from my deck. Caption: "Still here. Still mine. Still breathing." Sparkles. The likes are pouring in, but honestly, the view is enough.